Hey guys, it's fucking cold out. It's negative, I don't know the temperature on my watch. It's not a smartwatch. Anyway, it's fucking brick titties out. So, we're gonna make this quick-ish, I think. I could probably edit this down. I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, a bunch of things are happening in the fucking knife world, I guess. I don't care about most of them. I just don't, to be honest with you. So the main thing I care about is, where the fuck is my platen chassis? That's all I care about. Quick story. You know, I have this Ameribraid, great company by the way, Ameribraid grinder, 2x20 or 72 obviously. Came with all the neat stuff and things, very affordable, very high quality, American made. I'm interested in getting into Japanese style chef's knives. I actually have I got something right here. I have some Vitoku 2. This is going to be a Gyotto. Hajimemashite watashi wa. No Japanese? Okay. Vitoku 2, Gyotto. And when you grind these, you can do a full flat grind or, you know, you could do a full flat grind or partial flat grind. But I want to get crazy sharp with this thing. And the only way to do that is to make a hollow grind. You know, all the contact wheels are too much of a radius. And I wanted to get a nice gradual radius in there. So, the same gentleman that made my file guide, Bill Banky, he also makes these radius platens. And they're mounted for 6 inches on center or 6.75 inches on center. And my platen is mounted to 6.5 on center. So this doesn't fucking fit. So I contacted Eric, the owner of Ameribraid, very awesome dude. He said, listen man, send in your platen chassis. We're actually making new platen chassis that are more relative to the KMG grinder, and we will we'll hook you up. Don't worry about it. So I sent it in. They shipped it out Monday. Either FedEx or UPS is taking fucking forever delivering shit. So that's where we're at with this. If I don't hear anything by tomorrow, I'm gonna call them and see if I can get a tracking number and try to hunt it down. But that's where we're at with this. So I'm trying to get shit, you know, I'm trying to get orders in, but also I'm trying to like not have people's knives for fucking like a week or a month because they want to enjoy them. And we got a bunch of regrinds coming in. One gentleman is sending 2. He said I can do testing, so we're going to have videos on that. What else? Yes, radius, all that. So tonight we're not going to do a regrind, which is a bummer because I know how you guys like watching that shit. But since I'm going to talk about steel tomorrow,
ew, seriously? That is so gross.
And I'm probably going to touch on the most basic steel, 1095. I actually have my GEC calf pen. I don't know what fucking number it is. I don't care. I don't keep up with that shit. I just like cool fucking folders and shit like that. So I'm going to sharpen this up and we're going to do a test on that. I'm not going to do a regrind on it, obviously. That is a very thin blade as it is, and it's 1095, so like we'll discuss more tomorrow about 1095 and its capabilities and all that shit, but like that's a good blade. If you want like good folders, get a folder in 1095 and like just be happy, because you know fucking all this edge retention shit that we're like talking about is like it's all relative obviously to the design of the blade and the heat treat. 1095 can get up to fucking 65 HRC, so, I mean, and we can fucking grind that shit thin because the heat treat can handle it, and there's not many carbides in there, if any, and it can hold, I mean, it can hold an edge for a while. It's not going to be wear resistant like, you know, vanadium or niobium carbide, but it's going to get the fucking job done. I fucking love 1095. And you get a fucking sick patina when you cut up steaks. Or fucking, you know, peppers if you're a vegan, whatever, you know? So we're going to get into that. But first, I want to do something interesting. I went to the wood shop. I picked up a bunch of wood for handles for my gyottos and my petties. And I picked up some exotic Bacote wood. Bacote is a very dense, it is one of the densest woods on the fucking planet Earth. It comes from Mexico. It's super dense. And I just wanted to show, I guess, what a decent heat, not a good heat treat. Well, I would say a good heat treat or a decent heat treat could do with a thin edge on this wood. So we already did a test with the HAP 40 on the rope. I mean, that's taking it to the extreme. I want to go beyond the extreme. So I'm going to cut this up and I'm going to fucking twerk on it and we're going to fucking get some edge damage on there. And I'm going to show you that thinning your fucking blade is probably the best thing that you could do.
Hi, this is Ron
in your life.
You're listening to
So let's get in there. Let's fucking get right in there. God, yeah, it's fucking. Like that shit. Oh, look, there's fucking no edge damage. Oh, barely any chipping. So let's get in there a little bit more. Let's do it on the fucking, that belly part. Ooh, yeah. Oh, you like it on the belly? Oh. Okay. I think it's enough. So I run my fingernail down this, and this is something you guys should be doing after you sharpen or anything like that, just to check and see if you have a burr or anything like that. Dude, I don't feel any damage. So let's get into it a little bit more. Oh yeah, 9th thou behind the edge, guys. And this is a production knife, okay? This is HAP 40. There's guys in there cutting bolts and all kinds of shit on there. I mean, I just watched the fucking video last night with Sean Triple B, where he was, you know, just getting his protocols down, and he was sending them out to Peters, and he's getting them back, and he did a stainless steel video on what's the toughest stainless steel, and I mean, and I know from experience doing, like, I tried this on a bolt, but he did it on these fucking thick nails, pounded these fucking knives down. Obviously, like, the behind the edge was a lot thicker, and each one of them just fucking crack, crack, crack. I think 2 of them snapped. The LMAX snapped, and the 154 CM, or the CMP 154 snapped, and the S30B, you know, stayed intact. When you're testing and you think that something's gonna happen, and then you do it and it doesn't, that's fucking frustrating. It's very frustrating. And that's what science is. Science is a fucking frustrating thing, because we have all these hypotheses and then we go and test them, and then it either we prove our hypothesis right or it's incorrect and we have to do more testing or we have to change our hypothesis. That's what science is. That's the basis of science. It's not anyone being right or wrong. It's, I predict that this is going to happen. Let me try this. Boom, I do this and it doesn't happen. That's all it is. So let's not be dicks to each other about it. Anyway, back to the cutting. Let's get the fuck in there. Fucking Bacote wood. Okay. Run my nail down it again. I feel some micro damage. Let's cut this paper. So we can see, and I'm going down that belly. Prove another point. Let's just keep going. So this side should be fucked up by now, right? This is basically as hard as bone. Whoop, give me a piece of paper there. Let's go. I mean, what else do you got? Just feel how buttery smooth that's cutting. Oh, and I want to make a point too that this was not sharpened on diamond at all. This was sharpened on a 1K Splash and Go Shapton Pro stone by yours truly, and then stropped 1 micron with trash DMT diamond. So, I mean, let's do a thing, guys. Do a thing. Can't do that. Oh, fucking go fuck yourself. So, when those new K390 Delicas and Enduras come out, send them my way. Let me regrind them. This is HAP 40. It's a laminated steel. Someone asked tonight if I can do laminated steels. Yeah, we can do laminated steels. It's going to bring your, not your Hamon line, but like, I guess your laminate line up a little further, but that's fine. But I just wanted to, since you saw me regrind this, you saw me test this, and yeah, I just want to go a step further and just show you that because of the way this is heat treated or how hard this is, and I don't know how hard this is, we can get it tested, and the composition, those carbides and that heat treat can support this edge as thin as it is. Again, 9 thou behind the edge. And, I mean, I'm just thinking back to most of Triple B's videos and just like, all the testing that he's done, all the talking he's done, and he's proven everything right, and then still people just like want to fucking argue about shit, you know? And that's the whole point of my testing, is getting into, obviously customs are going to be, for the most part, customs will probably end up being better than production knives, but on that same scale, I wanted to show you that maybe behind the edge has a lot to do with performance, and not so much 100% with edge retention, but it has a bigger role in edge retention than what we think. And I just wanted to ask myself that question. Like, I wonder what would happen if I reground all these fucking knives. What if I reground every single one of my knife, tested it before, and then reground it, and then tested it after? Would I get a performance increase? And yes, I do. I mean, and you guys can see, you know, the start of that. I posted the Google link, or the Google Doc, on my videos. It's going to be in every single one of my videos under the above the comment section, and you guys can see the results, and you guys can take that data and play with it however you want. I know there's already edge retention testing data out there for cardboard. I have a bunch of that too. I didn't post it on that Google Doc because it's not relevant. It's cardboard. It's not this rope. I've had great results with a few of the regrinds that I did with cardboard and with my customs. I mean, going against production knives, and you've seen the videos. They're out there, so just check them out. But that's what I want to get into, is like the whole asking that question aspect, and the fact that we need to be asking these questions and not just fucking, when somebody asks the question, immediately just shitting on them and shutting them down, because that's not going to fucking fix anything. Why don't you get off your fucking lazy ass and do testing yourself? Or why don't you ask a question and fucking go, like, all of this stuff, yeah, this stuff costs money, but it's you can go out and buy a piece of this fucking wood as $1. You can go buy paper. You can go buy a rope. All of this stuff was fairly inexpensive. It was less than $100. It was probably around 80 bucks, you know, with the rope included, because I bought 200 feet of it. You can buy a length of rope. Just fucking do it. Like, I encourage you to go test and share your experiences with everyone, because that's what life is, man. It's too short not to. You should fucking do it. So, to prove my point, and to prove everyone else's point, that thin edges aren't fucking stable or strong. It doesn't, I mean, if this was soft fucking 440C, 440A or 440B or whatever, if it was soft, it was soft HAP 40, it would fucking not do this. So that's where your heat treat comes in. And then to have, you know, a thin edge, yeah, if you take it down to where you touch your fingernail on there and it fucking bends, it's probably too thin. But also, we're not going to be cutting fucking Bacote with it. We're not going to be cutting manila rope with it. We're going to be slicing, you know, probably vegetables or, I don't know, a person. I don't know if you're Dexter or whatever. Fuck, who knows? But that's my point. And that's the point I want to make with all this testing. Again, I want to do the steel talk to kind of put it in layman's terms and make sure everyone understands, because like I still don't understand. Shit, I fucking read an article on Knife Steel Nerds. Oh, stop real quick, by the way. If you guys have any subscription right now that you're paying $10 or more for, cancel that fucking thing and go sign up for Laren's Patreon at knifesteelnerds.com, because you're going to learn a lot more. You're going to get all of these secret articles that nobody else gets. And I encourage you to sign up for the $10 per article thing, because the dude pumps out articles, but it's like a couple a month, so it's like $20 a month. It's not that fucking bad. So suck it up. Y'all spend fucking $200 on fucking knives. You can spend, you know, $20 a month on fucking knowledge, okay? So go, again, check out Knife Steel Nerds. Subscribe to the Patreon, even though I don't agree with Patreon because they steal money from people. But do it. I did it. I've been riding free for the past few months, but I was like, you know, new year, new me. And I did. So go do it. So yeah, knifesteelnerds.com, go sign up. And you're going to get a mug if you do the $10 one. It's going to say Knife Steel Nerds, and you're going to be able to talk to Laren and contribute and, you know, give him ideas on things you want to test. If you want to fucking figure out, like, what the best, trash steel is. I don't fucking know. Anything. So I implore you, go do it. So yeah, where were we? I forget my train of thought, but anyway. I just wanted to show everyone that this is not fucking gonna hurt anything. If you have a 9/1000 behind the edge, you know, it's not gonna hurt. Try one more time, and then we'll get into this 1095 cut test. There's a little hang up, but nothing I'm fucking worried about. That's still a good fucking blade. And we cut through that exotic Bacote. So, 1095. I'm not going to talk about the steel. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. But, you know, we're going to sharpen this up on the diamond so we can get our consistent edge with our consistent, you know, diamond grit. Our shit diamond grit, I guess. DMT. And then we're going to do manila rope, and I'm going to shoot it all, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit afterwards. And yeah, I have no idea where the results are going to be. That knife is pretty thin behind the edge. I'm not going to use the Warncliffe blade. I'm going to use the other blade that has the weird pokey thing on it. Apparently that's to help you open it one-handed, but I don't know. I'm probably going to fucking grind it off, honestly. It has a nail nick in it, so I can just use whatever nails I do have, and yeah. Kite kurikai shite kudasai. Alright. Here we are. All sharpened up. DMT coarse, DMT fine, 10 passes per side. Like always. If you guys hear like creatures in the background or like ocean waves, it's because my videos keep fucking getting flagged for playing music in the back. I'm not even monetized. I don't fucking care. So I'm playing music sounds. If you're gonna fucking flag me for having nature sounds, we got a problem with fucking society and what these fucking big companies can do. Alright? we need to band together and just play more fucking nature sounds in the back of our videos. End with my rant. Got this. Let's start writing. Do you guys hear, every time I write, like I hear a typewriter, and I don't know who keeps fucking doing typewriter noises, but it's fucking annoying. Just throwing that out there. There it is again. Every fucking time. This is so annoying. Alright, I'm gonna play it safe and say we're at 15 thousandths behind the edge, which is a respectable behind the edge. Thank you, GEC. Weird. Alright, let's start cutting to the wonderful sounds of a river stream. You know? Oh, man. Yeah, it's done. Oh, it's done. The GEC is done. That's done. You saw the edge is pretty much toast. We could probably still get like some paper cuts, but it's not really doing what we want it to do compared to the other times we've cut paper. I mean, the edge is still, you know, sharp. I can still probably cut vegetables with it or something. Obviously I can still cut rope with it. So, that edge is done. We'll just do this, you know, really quick. So, we got a total of 70, you know, turns. And then times 2 is our multiplier because we go 1, 2 for every cut, 1, 2, every cut, 1, 2. We got a total of 140. So that's pretty respectable for, I mean, it's 15 thousandths behind the edge. I don't know what the HRC is. I'm assuming it's fairly high, within the 60s-ish, hopefully. I know people have had issues with certain GEC models. I don't know how, if they batch heat treat or not. I'm assuming they do because they're a production facility. And with that, you can get different variances in heat treat. You know, things on the edge of the stack can, you know, cannot be heat treated adequately. Same thing goes for the center ones. So I mean, everything's off. I'm sure if you had like coils on every single side and these knives are floating in space and just kind of spinning around, it would give you a more even heat treat all the way through. But again, we have to take in consideration there's nothing in here. There might be, you know, elements in here to help its hardenability, which does nothing to do with hardness. Hardenability is how far can that penetrate into the steel. So if it doesn't have anything to help hardenability, then it's going to be hardened on the outside, or like a case hardening scenario. And if it does, then it's going to get further in the steel and thus hardening the entire thing of the steel. When it comes to knives, I'm not sure, I'm not positive. I mean, relative to like the quantum level, how hardenability or elements of hardenability help with knives, but obviously it helps somewhat. So just because the stock is thinner. So with that, I mean, 140 is respectable. It's not a super steel. It's fucking 1090 or it's 1095. Like, what do you want? It's been around for hundreds of years. It's, you know, 99% iron ore and 0.95% carbon, and then a few other elements in there to help with other things, like machinability. I think there's some moly in there to help with hardenability and stuff like that. So we're going to talk more about that in the Sunday video. But I mean, again, given the relative behind the edge, like, it did a good job. Can it still cut paper? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it can still cut on that front, like, not really, but I'm using the back part. Anyway, you know what I mean. I mean, it can still cut certain things. And also, your toughness is into account. Like, it's a very tough, forgiving steel. Like running, there's no chips or anything, no rolling or nothing. I mean, it's a very forgiving steel. And I'm sure, at least I can feel it on this knife. I mean, the hardness is fairly high. 15 thou behind the edge. I mean, you're not going to get much damage, if any. And I mean, this is by no means a super steel. And you can hear it. I'm fucking digging in on it, man. I'm twerking on it. And we got, you know. So, is 1095 a good steel? Yes, in my opinion, obviously. And it does a good job. If we get that hardness up and we can get that, you know, that blade geometry down, and if we can get our edge geometry, or behind the edge first, if we get our behind the edge thin enough, and then get our blade geometry to around 17 to 18, 16 even, we're going to be in good shape cutting. People have used knives for fucking hundreds of years, and I mean, this steel is no slouch. It's still just a grandfather steel, basically. And it's think of like making cake, and you got flour, and you got eggs, and then you got a little sugar. These are all elements that get put in and create a thing. But if we want like a fancy, nice sponge that you see on, you know, the Great British Bake Off, then we're going to add more elements, and we're going to get, you know, more flavor and, you know, different. If we want to add flavor, we want to add vanilla, we want to add chocolate. Like, it's going to be that sort of thing. So just look at it like that. Look at it like cake, or a recipe, if you will, because that's exactly what it is. And the sharpness level that you can get off of 1095 as a sharpener, you know, hair whittling sharp with very minimal effort, is a good thing too. And I mean, this can take a coarse edge or a polished edge. It's a very, these are things that people dive into all the time. And I mean, I think we expect you know, because this is 1095, for it to fucking just fail, like instantly, like it's Chinese steel. And it's not the case. It's never going to be the case. So you can buy with confidence any 1095, and to further that, I would honestly buy from companies like Case as well. Like, I know a lot of people are like, Case, and they go to GEC. GEC is not a fucking old company. It's a young company. They're they started in 1996. Case has been around for hundreds of years, and they actually, I don't have the pocket knife with me, but I could talk about it tomorrow in the 1095 thing. They helped, or one of the members of the Case family helped develop the cryo. Not in the tradition, or not in the term we use today, like a cryogenic with liquid nitrogen, but with dry ice and things of that nature. I don't know if liquid nitrogen, existed. Maybe it did. I don't fucking know. But they were the first ones to pioneer that, and everyone followed after. And they got a lot of complaints on that because people couldn't sharpen their knives in the kitchen. Like, they were using sharpening steels and it just wouldn't fucking sharpen the knife. So they had to send everything back to this cutlery company and get them sharpened, and then they had to come back. So I'll talk more about that tomorrow in my 1095 talk, and we'll go from there. But I mean, this steel with a thin behind the edge, and that's the point I want to make, is like, it's a very thin behind the edge. Like, I don't think a chopper doing slicing tasks is going to perform that well. I really don't. And I think when we get down to that and the use of the knife, slicing or the chopping, that's when our geometry and our thicknesses come into play. Is use. I'm not going to use a fucking 10 thou behind the edge Kyoto in a chopping competition. I'm going to get fucking blown away. My knife's going to break. But in these retention tasks and these slicing tasks, I think it will 100% outperform the same knife at the same hardness that has a thicker behind the edge. 100%. Any day of the week. And it comes down to, how stable the edge is and the geometries and all that. So we won't rant off on it, but that's what I'm trying to ask the question. Does behind the edge thickness actually matter? And I believe it does. I really do. I think there's people out there that seem to think that it just helps, slide through the material, which it does, but I think it also aids in performance a little bit. Sliding through material easy also will give you that leg up in performance. So, yeah. Some things that are coming up. I got a couple of personal regrinds that I want to do. I have a full modification that I'm going to do. We'll probably document that. Hopefully you guys have been watching, Outpost 76 and his D2 talk. I don't have anything that's going to dispel any of that, but it's going to be custom versus production D2. And I'm very curious I don't know what's going to happen. I'm very curious about it. There's a fella on Reddit, Mr. Scred, I think it is. Anyway, he's a maker. He offered up one of his blades in D2. We're gonna run it against a Ontario Rat 2 in D2. Since that's like the main D2 knife, pretty much, other than the higher end like Striders and Medfords and what have you, but we're gonna run against a D2 Ontario Rat 2 in D2, and we're gonna see what happens. He's got his knife pretty fucking souped up, and we're not gonna regrind that Rat. We're just gonna run it straight, and we're gonna see the performance increase, hopefully, that we're gonna get from that custom. And I'm pretty excited about it. D2. I mean, if you watch his video, Outpost 76, Gerald's video, you'll see that there's other steels that can perform, that people think that are lower quality, that will outperform D2. And I just want to see what a custom D2, It was heat treat at Peters. I don't know where Ontario Heat gets their heat treat from. I assume Peters because everyone fucking does, unless you're Spyderco or Benchmade. So, or the higher end. There's a lot of people that don't. So we'll see what happens with that, and then what else do I have? Personal regrinds. I got a couple of regrinds coming in. I got a 3V. I'm gonna do a video on that. And then, yeah. I'm gonna also try to do a surprise visit somewhere. I don't want to say where because I don't want to get everyone excited and I don't want to not be able to go do it. But I'm gonna try on one of my days off. Pretty busy lately, but one of my days off, I'm gonna try to get in somewhere to do a little tour of a place that's like 45 minutes from me. I knew it was there, but yeah, it's pretty cool, and hopefully, well, there's two places actually I live really, really close to that are big impacts in the knife world. So, yeah, that's all. Hopefully I don't get flagged for the nature sounds. And, subscribe, all that shit. So, thanks guys. Appreciate it.